Yo, what's going on, guys? The Yorkshire Biker here. So yes, basically we're in the man shed again today, and I'm going to be showing you how to basically tension the chain on a motorbike. So if that's something you're going to be interested in, stick around, stay tuned, and we'll get cracked on. So yes, today we're going to be showing you, well, I'm going to be showing you how to tension the chain on a motorbike. Basically, the tools that you'll need, as in the socket sizes and spanners, may vary depending on what bike you've got. But the usual rule of thumb is what I'm going to show you, you will need some variation of in order to do yours. So the first thing you will need is a socket. This particular one is 27mm. You'll need this to basically unfasten the axle nut on your rear axle. We'll show you those in a second once we've gone through the tools. So you'll need the 27mm socket, or whatever size socket you need for your bike. You will also need a breaker bar. It's not a long one. Don't know the exact size of it. Do not impact or use extension tube. Yeah, I don't know the exact size of this, but you will need a breaker bar of some sort. Basically, the longer it is, the easier it'll be to take your nut off. So you've got your nuts and pole. For my particular bike as well, I need a 12mm spanner and a 30mm spanner. The 13mm is to unfasten the lock nut, and the 12mm is to basically spin the tension bolt. So as well as those, what you'll need is, don't need to be this long, but you'll need a tape measure. You shouldn't do that. So yeah, before we get too talkative, and before I bore you, we'll crack on, and I'll show you how to do it. Right, okay, so for ease, I've already loosened off my axle nut, but same rule is, basically you'll get it on there, unfasten it, and basically that, if I'm not in way, I've only got a small shed. So once that's loosened off, I should be able to spin it now. Nope. Can we do it with just the socket? Yeah. So as I say, I've already loosened this off, but that's just to make it easier. You don't need to take it all the way off. I've left it on there just so that I don't lose it. Loosen this off, and what you'll need to do, as you can see, I've already loosened it off, but you'll need the larger, well, I've got the larger of the two spanners, and basically you need to unscrew the lock nut. So you unscrew that just to give you a bit of play. Don't need to be too far out. And then once you do that on the other side, you need to basically check for any tight spots in your chain, because that's where you're going to be tensioning the chain from. So I've already done all this as prep, but basically I've got around 25mm of play. I've had a look in the book, and that's roughly what this bike needs anyway, so I don't need to adjust it, but obviously for the sake of the video I'll go through the process. So once you've loosened off your lock nuts on both sides and you've checked the play, you need to basically rotate it so that you've got the bike, so you've got the chain on a tight spot. You never need to tension a chain on a slack spot, because once it then gets to the tight spot on the chain, there's going to be too much tension, and you're at risk of basically either snapping the chain or just creating more wear unnecessarily. So the best bet is to basically tension chain on the on a tight spot. So you've loosened the lock nut. You're then going to get your other spanner on your tension bolt, and basically you're going to rotate it and basically whichever way loosens off this nut, usually it'll be anti-clockwise. You're going to rotate that to push the axle back. So once you're rotating this, what it'll do is push this collar, if you want to call it that, it'll push that backwards towards the back of the bike. And if you can see down here, I've got some indents on the frame. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm just on the 6th one there. Basically, that tells you if your back wheel's lined up. So as long as you've got 6 on the other side, then your rear wheel's in line, and you're fine. What you need to do is, obviously, if your wheel's already lined up, then you need to rotate both this side and the other side the same amount of turns to obviously keep the axle in line. Once that's done, you've checked it, you've checked the tension again with the tape measure. All you need to do is basically tighten your lock nuts back up. So we'll actually do this now. Tighten your lock nuts back up. Make sure, while you're doing this, make sure your tension bolt doesn't rotate as well. I'll keep an eye on it. Sometimes you may need to get your other spanner back on the tension bolt, sorry, just to make sure that it doesn't rotate, but it looks like I'm fine on this one. They don't need to be too tight. You're only looking around 10 Newton meters, 10-15 Newton meters at most. And that's just to ensure, as I say, this bolt doesn't then rotate back in and let your axle slide forward. And once you've tightened it on this side, again, tighten it on the right hand side, on the same side as your brake disc, whichever way it is. And you need to tighten your axle up. Get your axle nut tightened up. So I'll rotate this one by hand for now, just to make it a little bit quicker. Right, that's on there. I would advise as well to check, if you're doing this, either check online or get your user manual out. There'll be a set Newton meters that your rear axle nut needs to be. For this particular bike, it's 110 Newton meters. I've done it that many times, I kind of know how tight that is, doing it by hand, so we should be okay. Never had any issues, but I will get it checked just to be safe once I've done this. So again, you're just going to want to tension it. It'd be easier if these were on a ratchet, but I mean, I'm guessing that would give you something else to break. So we're just going to tension this up. Get it on there again. I'll do it, I think. And basically that's it. So that's basically how you tension a chain. As I said, you may need different size spanners and different size lock nut sockets and stuff for your particular bike. But that process is usually what needs to be done in order to tension your chain. Once you've tensioned it, obviously it's the usual relubing and stuff like that if you need to do it, but that's a different matter. But I think that is it today. Just a quick one, only a few minutes I think. We'll get it as short as possible. Nothing else to do. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. There will be more coming. I am trying to vary the content, obviously due to COVID-19. I can't get out on the bike. So, thanks for watching, guys. As I said, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I mean, I'd say, as always, ride safe and keep sticky side down, but not many people are riding, so just keep safe, guys. Don't obviously be travelling out unnecessarily if you don't need to, and we'll see you all again soon.